In the complex, often dizzying world of modern romance, one of the most agonizing yet exhilarating experiences is the silent dance of attraction. We have all been there, sitting across from someone, feeling an electric charge in the air, and wondering if the intensity we feel is mutual or just a product of our own hopeful imagination. While some men are bold enough to wear their hearts on their sleeves, a vast majority, driven by a fear of rejection, a respect for your current friendship, or a natural sense of stoicism, choose to hide their feelings behind a mask of casual friendship. However, human psychology is a stubborn thing. No matter how hard a man tries to suppress his romantic intentions, his subconscious mind will always find a way to leak the truth through subtle cues, body language shifts, and behavioral patterns. Understanding these signals is not just about satisfying your curiosity. It's about learning to read the unspoken language of male attraction. Men often communicate their deepest desires through actions rather than words, operating on a frequency that requires a keen eye and an open heart to decode. They play a high-stakes game of testing the waters, where every lingering look, every accidental touch, and every moment of unexpected vulnerability is a calculated risk. They are waiting for a green light, a sign from you that it is safe to drop the act and speak their truth. Until that moment arrives, they live in the in-between, hoping that you are observant enough to notice the trail of breadcrumbs they are leaving behind. This silence isn't necessarily about a lack of confidence. Often, it's a sign of how much he values you. If a man truly cares, the stakes are higher. He doesn't want to ruin what you already have, yet he can't help but want more. This creates a fascinating psychological tension that manifests in the 15 signs we are about to explore. From the way his voice drops an octave when you're alone to the way he remembers a tiny detail about your childhood that even you had forgotten, these behaviors are his silent confessions. In this deep dive, we are going to strip away the mystery and look at the raw, unfiltered evidence of a man who is secretly in love with you. Whether you are wondering if your best friend is catching feelings, or if that mysterious coworker is actually interested, these insights will give you the clarity you need. By the end of this exploration, you won't just be guessing anymore. You will be able to look into his eyes and know exactly what he is trying to say without him uttering a single word. So, pay close attention, because he is hoping you notice these signs today. 1. The eyes never lie stare. They say the eyes are the windows to the soul, and when a man is secretly harboring feelings for you, his eyes will often betray his silence before his lips ever find the courage to speak. This isn't just about a passing glance. It is a specific type of lingering, intense focus that feels different from a platonic look. When a man wants you to notice him, he will frequently engage in what experts call prolonged eye contact. This usually lasts just a second or two longer than what is socially normal, creating a brief moment of tension that feels both electric and intimate. The eye stare often manifests in two ways. First, there is an across-the-room gaze. You might feel a prickle on the back of your neck, turn around, and catch him looking at you. If he quickly looks away or smiles shyly when caught, it's a classic sign of secret attraction. He's admiring you from a distance, absorbing your presence, and hoping you'll sense his focus. Second, there is the triangle vision during conversations. If his eyes constantly shift from your eyes to your lips and back again, it's a subconscious psychological signal of romantic interest. Furthermore, look at his pupils. Science tells us that when we look at someone we find attractive, our pupils naturally dilate as a physiological response to excitement. If he looks at you with wide, soft eyes, even in a brightly lit room, he is literally trying to take more of you in. He hopes that by holding your gaze, you will see the depth of his feelings without him having to risk a verbal rejection. 2. Subtle physical proximity. Physical space is the ultimate boundary of the friend zone, and when a man wants to cross that boundary secretly, he will begin to shrink the distance between you. This is known as subtle physical proximity. It isn't about being touchy-feely right away. Rather, it is about his constant magnetic pull toward your personal bubble. If you are in a group setting and notice that he consistently ends up standing next to you, sitting beside you, or leaning in closer when you speak, he is testing the waters of your comfort level. He wants you to notice his presence. By moving closer, he is creating a private world within a public space. If you are at a crowded table and he adjusts his chair so his shoulder is almost touching yours, or if he leans in deep to hear you over the music, even if it's not that loud, he is using his body to show interest. This behavior is driven by a subconscious desire to be your person in that moment. He is checking to see if you pull away or if you stay put. If you don't move away, it sends a green light to his brain that his feelings might be mutual. Moreover, notice if he orients his body toward you. Even if he is talking to someone else, if his feet and torso are pointed in your direction, you are his primary focus. He hopes that by being physically close, you will naturally start to feel a sense of familiarity and intimacy with him. It's his way of saying, "I'm here, and I want to be near you," without ever having to utter a single word. 3. The mirroring effect. One of the most fascinating aspects of human psychology is mirroring, a subconscious behavior where a person starts to imitate the gestures, speech patterns, or attitudes of the person they are deeply attracted to. When a man secretly wants you, his brain begins to synchronize with yours. He isn't doing this on purpose to trick you. Rather, it is a biological response rooted in building rapport and showing empathy. If you lean back in your chair, he'll likely lean back a few seconds later. If you take a sip of your drink, you'll notice him reaching for his. If you use a specific slang word or unique hand gesture, he might suddenly start using it too. This copycat behavior is his subconscious way of saying, "We are on the same wavelength." It's a powerful tool for creating a sense of safety and familiarity. By mirroring you, he is trying to show that he is like you, which is a fundamental building block of romantic attraction. He hopes that by reflecting your energy, you will feel a natural click or a sense of chemistry that you can't quite explain. You can actually test this sign. Next time you're with him, try a subtle movement, like crossing your legs or touching your hair. If he follows suit within a minute, he is hyper-focused on your every move. This synchronization shows that he is emotionally tuned in to you. He is hoping that this invisible bond will make you realize how well you fit together, paving the way for a deeper connection without him having to make a high-risk confession. 4. Hero instinct activation. The hero instinct is a psychological term that describes a man's innate drive to feel needed, appreciated, and essential to the woman he cares about. When a man secretly wants you, he will constantly look for small ways to be your hero. This doesn't mean he thinks you're helpless. Rather, he wants to prove his value in your life. He wants to be the first person you call when your car makes a weird noise, when you can't reach a high shelf, or when you're dealing with a difficult situation at work. You'll notice him stepping up in subtle ways. He might offer to walk you to your car, carry a heavy bag, or give you advice on a problem you mentioned in passing. If he's constantly asking, "Do you need help with that?" or "Let me take care of that for you," he is trying to trigger a protective role. He wants to see that look of appreciation in your eyes because it validates his place in your world. He is essentially auditioning for the role of your partner by showing you how much easier and safer your life could be with him in it. He hopes you notice these small wins because, for many men, providing and protecting are the primary ways they express love. If you thank him or tell him you appreciate his help, you'll likely see his confidence soar. He is waiting for you to recognize that he isn't just a friend. He is someone who is willing to go above and beyond to ensure your happiness and well-being. 5. Recalling the tiny details. In a world full of distractions, attention is the ultimate currency of love. When a man secretly wants you, he becomes a student of your personality. While most people might remember your birthday or your job title, a man who is secretly into you will recall the tiny, insignificant details that you mentioned in passing weeks ago. He remembers that you hate cilantro, the name of your first pet, or that specific song that makes you feel nostalgic. This level of active listening is a major green flag and a clear sign that he is prioritizing your words above everything else. This behavior is his way of showing you that you are important to him without having to say, "I love you." By bringing up a small detail later, like surprising you with your favorite obscure snack or asking how that minor meeting went, he is proving that he is emotionally invested. He is building a mental map of your likes, dislikes, and dreams. He hopes that when he reveals how much he remembers, you'll realize that he wasn't just hearing you. He was truly listening. Psychologically, this is known as selective attention. Most men filter out small talk, but when they are attracted to someone, their brain treats every word that person says as vital information. He hopes you'll notice this supermemory and realize that no one else pays as much attention to the nuances of who you are as he does. It's a subtle, high-effort way of showing that he's already treating you like a partner in his mind. 6. Intentional accidental touches. Physical touch is a powerful communicator, but when a man is keeping his feelings a secret, he won't be overly bold. Instead, he will use intentional accidental touches to test the physical chemistry between you. This could be a lingering high five, his hand brushing against yours while walking, or a gentle touch on your arm to get your attention. These moments are rarely accidents. They are calculated risks designed to see how you react to his skin-to-skin contact. If his hand stays on your shoulder just a second too long, or if he accidentally bumps into you and doesn't immediately pull away, he is checking for a spark. He is looking for signs of comfort or reciprocation. If you don't flinch or pull back, it gives him the silent okay to keep pursuing you. These small touches release oxytocin, the bonding hormone, and he subconsciously knows that physical closeness will help build a deeper romantic connection over time. He hopes you'll notice the electricity in these small moments. By keeping the touches subtle and brief, he has plausible deniability. If you react negatively, he can play it off as an accident. But if you lean into the touch or smile, he knows is making progress. He is essentially trying to break the touch barrier, to move out of the friend zone and into your heart, hoping that these small physical hints will eventually lead to something more significant. 7. The protective stance. When a man has secret feelings for you, his ancient, biological protector instincts often kick into high gear, even if he doesn't realize it himself. This shows up through his body language and how he positions himself relative to you and the rest of the world. You might notice that when you are walking down a busy street, he instinctively moves to the side closest to the traffic. Or, in a crowded room, he stands with his back to the crowd while facing you, effectively creating a human shield that carves out a private, safe space for the two of you. This behavior is rooted in evolutionary psychology. A man who wants you secretly feels a subconscious responsibility for your well-being. He's scanning the environment for potential threats, whether that's a rowdy group of people or just a literal tripping hazard, and positioning himself to intervene. He isn't trying to be overbearing. He's trying to show you, through his physical presence, that you are safe when you are with him. He hopes you'll notice this sense of security. There's a certain comfort in being with someone who always seems to have your back, and is banking on the fact that you'll eventually realize is more than just a casual friend. By being your silent guardian, he is proving his reliability. He wants you to feel that whenever he is around, the world is a little less chaotic and a lot more secure, hoping this feeling will eventually turn into romantic trust. 8. Consistent social media engagement. In the digital age, a man's phone is a direct reflection of his heart's priorities. If he secretly wants you, you will likely notice that he is the most consistent presence in your digital life. He isn't just liking your main posts. He is watching every single one of your stories, often within minutes of you posting them. He might heart a photo from 3 years ago or reply to a random meme you shared with a thoughtful comment or an inside joke. This isn't just about the algorithm. It's about him looking for any excuse to start a conversation. Consistent social media engagement is his way of staying top of mind without being too aggressive. By interacting with your content, he is subtly saying, "I'm thinking about you," or "I find your life interesting." It's a low-risk way for him to gauge your interest. If you reply to his comments or like his messages back, he feels a surge of hope that the door might be open for something more. He hopes you'll notice that while others might scroll past, he always stops for you. He's trying to build a digital bridge between your two lives, using memes, songs, or story replies as the bricks. He is waiting for that one specific interaction, a long DM conversation or shared laugh, that allows him to transition from your screen into your real-world romantic life. For him, every like is a silent heartbeat, hoping you'll finally see the pattern. 9. nervous energy and fidgeting. When a man secretly wants you, his body often enters a state of high alert the moment you walk into the room. This is caused by a spike in adrenaline and cortisol, the same chemicals responsible for the fight or flight response. Because he's trying so hard to play it cool and hide his feelings, that trapped energy has to go somewhere. This results in nervous energy and fidgeting. You might notice him adjusting his watch, smoothing his hair, or playing with his phone even when he has no notifications. These are displacement behaviors used to channel the intensity of his attraction. Watch for the subtle signs. Is he suddenly clumsier around you? Does he stumble over his words or laugh a little too loudly at a joke that wasn't that funny? This isn't because he's awkward by nature. It's because he is terrified of making a mistake in front of someone he admires so deeply. He wants to impress you so badly that his brain starts to short-circuit, leading to those adorable, nervous habits. He hopes you'll notice that he isn't this jittery with anyone else. In his mind, he's worried he looks foolish, but is secretly hoping you'll see through the nerves and find his vulnerability charming. To him, every fidget is a sign that your presence matters a lot. He is waiting for a sign from you that it's okay to relax, hoping that once the ice is broken, his nervous energy will transform into the calm, confident romantic tension he truly wants to share with you. 10. Finding excuses to be alone. The friend zone is a crowded place, but a man who wants you secretly is always looking for a way to pull you away from the noise. This is the sign of finding excuses to be alone. He won't necessarily ask you on a formal date yet because that carries the risk of rejection. Instead, he will create micro-moments of privacy. Maybe he asks if you want to walk to the coffee shop with him while the rest of the group stays behind. Or he offers to help you carry something to your car just so he can have 3 minutes of uninterrupted conversation. These convenient coincidences are rarely accidental. He is strategically looking for gaps in the social schedule where it can be just the two of you. Why? Because it's in these quiet, one-on-one moments that the mask can slip. He wants to see the version of you that doesn't have to perform for a crowd. And he wants you to see the version of him that is focused entirely on you. He hopes you'll notice the pattern of these solo missions. By choosing to spend his time with you rather than the group, he is signaling that your company is his highest priority. He is testing the chemistry in a private setting to see if the conversation flows differently or if the tension increases. He is waiting for that perfect, quiet moment where he might finally feel brave enough to tell you how he feels, hoping that you'll enjoy these private escapes as much as he does. 11. The change in vocal tone. Sound is a powerful conductor of emotion, and when a man is secretly attracted to you, his voice will often undergo a physical transformation that he can't entirely control. This is known as vocal pitch modulation. Scientific studies suggest that men tend to lower their vocal pitch, speaking in a deeper, more resonant tone, when they are talking to someone they find romantically appealing. This is an evolutionary trait designed to signal masculinity, maturity, and authority. If you notice that his voice becomes softer, huskier, or more velvety when it's just the two of you, he is subconsciously trying to sound more attractive to you. However, the change isn't always about depth, it's also about vocal pacing. If he's nervous or excited to be near you, he might speak faster, his words tumbling over one another as he tries to keep the conversation going. Conversely, if he's trying to create an intimate atmosphere, he will slow down his speech, leaving intentional pauses for you to fill. He is tuning his voice to match the mood he wants to establish. He hopes you'll notice that he speaks to you differently than he speaks to his bros or his colleagues. While he might be loud and boisterous with them, he adopts a gentler, more focused tone with you. This special voice is his way of creating a private acoustic bubble around the two of you. He is waiting for you to realize that his words aren't just information. They are an invitation to get closer. 12. Deep vulnerability and sharing secrets. In the world of dating, information is intimacy. When a man secretly wants you, he will begin to peel back the layers of his tough guy exterior and show you his deep vulnerability. This is a massive sign because most men are socialized to keep their guards up. If he starts sharing stories about his childhood, his fears about the future, or mistakes he's made in the past, he isn't just venting, he is building a foundation of trust. By sharing his secrets, He is giving you the keys to his emotional world. This behavior is a strategic test of compatibility. He wants to see if you are a safe harbor for his thoughts. When he tells you something he hasn't told anyone else, he is silently saying, "I trust you more than anyone else." He is looking for empathy and understanding. If you respond with kindness, it reinforces his desire to be with you. He is moving past the small talk phase because he wants a connection that is rooted in something real and lasting. He hopes you'll notice that he is being real with you. In a world of filtered lives and surface-level interactions, his vulnerability is a rare gift. He is hoping that by being honest about his flaws and dreams, you will feel comfortable opening up to him too. This mutual emotional stripping is often the final step before the secret attraction becomes an official relationship. He is waiting for you to see the man behind the mask, hoping you'll love that person even more. 13. Jealousy behind a smile. One of the hardest emotions for a man to hide when he secretly wants you is reactive jealousy. Since he hasn't officially claimed a spot in your life as a partner, he feels he has no right to be jealous, so he tries to mask it with a smile. However, if you mention another man, a coworker, a male friend, or date, watch his micro-expressions. You might notice a brief tightening of his jaw, a momentary loss of eye contact, or a sudden change in the subject. This is the protective part of his brain reacting to a perceived threat to the connection he's trying to build with you. He isn't being toxic. He's experiencing competitive anxiety. He might try to downplay the other guy's achievements or offer a slightly critical, but helpful, opinion about him. This is his subconscious way of trying to remain the alpha in your eyes. He is terrified that someone else will see what he sees in you and move faster than he has. He hopes you'll notice that he cares enough to be affected. While he tries to stay supportive and cool, his subtle restlessness when other men are mentioned is a glaring sign of his hidden feelings. He is waiting for you to reassure him, perhaps by showing that the other guy doesn't matter, hoping that his silent territorial behavior will signal to you that he wants to be the only one in your romantic spotlight. 14. Always being the first responder. In a world where everyone is busy, a man who secretly wants you will always make himself available. He becomes your digital and emotional first responder. If you post a distress story on Instagram about a bad day, he's the first in your DMs. If you mention you're craving a specific snack, he's the one who offers to drop it off. He prioritizes your needs over his own schedule, often dropping what he's doing to be there for you. This level of extreme reliability is a clear indicator that he is auditioning for the role of your life partner. This behavior is rooted in the desire to be your go-to person. He wants to prove that he is the most dependable man in your life. While others might offer thoughts and prayers, he offers action. By consistently being the first to respond to your calls, texts, or crises, he is building a history of presence that he hopes you'll eventually find indispensable. He hopes you'll notice the contrast between him and everyone else. He wants you to realize that while others are flaky or inconsistent, he is a constant. He is waiting for the moment you realize that life is simply easier, happier, and more manageable when he is involved. To him, every rescue mission is a brick in the wall of a future relationship, hoping you'll finally see that your hero has been standing right in front of you all along. 15. The long, meaningful goodbye. The final and perhaps most telling sign is the extended departure. When a man is secretly in love with you, the hardest part of his day is the moment he has to leave your presence. You'll notice that his goodbyes take forever. He might stand by your car door for an extra 10 minutes, start a brand new conversation just as you're about to walk away, or linger at the door with his hand on the handle. This reluctance to leave is a physiological manifestation of his desire to stay connected to your energy for as long as possible. This is often when the most intense eye contact happens. He is looking for a sign, a hug that lasts a second too long, a look in your eyes, or a stay a little longer from you. He is creating extra time in the hopes that the momentum will finally lead to a confession or kiss. He feels a separation anxiety because, in his mind, once he leaves, the magic of the moment might disappear. He hopes you'll notice that he doesn't want the night to end. By stretching out the goodbye, he is giving you every possible opportunity to invite him closer. He is waiting for that one lingering moment where the silence becomes so loud that the truth finally comes out. He's hoping that his hesitation to walk away will make you realize that his heart is already staying right there with you.